They was calling her white trash. They was calling her a prostitute, saying she was nothing but like a dog.
There is a specific problem which involves Pakistani heritage men who target vulnerable young white girls.
It's not an ethnic-based problem. It's across the piece of the whole communities that there are in Blackburn.
Karen's daughter Jane was just 11 when she was befriended by an Asian man 10 years her senior. A friendship which began with gifts and rides in flash cars quickly turned into something very different.
It happened a month and a half ago after it started. She started going missing for 2 and 3 days on end, and then one day she came back, and I'll never forget. She came walking up the road and she was still drugged up, and she'd been taken to Manchester that night and then brought back the next morning.
Karen says Jane, who've changed both their names, had clearly been raped. Soon there were queues of different men coming to call.
A number of men in different cars at different times. They come during the night, they come during the day.
The family decided the only way to protect Jane was to move her abroad. But within weeks of coming back, the abuse started again.
I got a video sent to my phone. 3 Asian men assaulting my daughter. They were calling her white trash. They were calling her a prostitute, saying she was nothing but like a dog.
Hilary Wilmer is the chair of CROP, an organisation set up to help parents of sexually exploited children.
We've been working over the last 7, 8, 9 years with over 400 families. And of those families, mostly in the northwest and the northeast and the Midlands, but not entirely so, 96, 97% of those 400 families are white. And in terms of the perpetrators, those gangs are in the vast majority from Pakistani Asian origin.
Others have recently pointed to a series of high-profile prosecutions of Muslim men as evidence. But there are no official statistics. Nevertheless, former Home Secretary and Blackburn MP Jack Straw says he knows from his own constituency that this is a real problem.
It is a specific problem in some areas, and it's been a specific problem here in the Blackburn area. Pakistanis, let's be clear, are not the only people who commit sexual offences, and overwhelmingly the sex offenders' wings of prisons are full of white sex offenders. But there is a specific problem which involves Pakistani heritage men, some of some age as well, who target vulnerable young white girls, and we need to get the Pakistani community to think much more clearly about why this is going on and to be more open about the problems that are leading to a number of Pakistani heritage men thinking that it's okay to target white girls in this way. These young men are in a Western society, in any event. They act like any other young men. They're fizzing and popping with testosterone. They want some outlet for that. But Pakistani heritage girls are off limits, and they are expected to marry a Pakistani girl from Pakistan, typically. So they then seek other avenues, and they see these young women, white girls who are vulnerable, some of them in care, who for sure have not been subject to normal parental support, who they think are easy meat. And then, because they're vulnerable, they ply them with gifts, they give them drugs, and then, of course, they're trapped.
This is such an explosive issue that for years any suggestion that race was a factor at all in the sexual exploitation of children was almost entirely denied. Now race is at the centre of the debate. But is that right? Or is it, as some are suggesting, a much more complex picture?